with the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
We live from the boxing section, you dusty ass niggas. What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section, man. What's going on? Listen, I got my young homie with me, him and his pops. He is the 2023 Junior Olympic national champion in the heavyweight division. I ain't never seen him lose a fight. You know what I'm saying? And every time I see him in a fight, it looks easy. Slick fighter, great defense, great jab, a great head movement. The raw one. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with the fam?
What's up, man?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Man. So for the people that don't know, give them your name and where you guys from.
My name Kumar the Raw one from Oakland, California.
Pops,
I'm Kumar out of Prescod.
For sure. So man, y'all handle business this weekend. Like always, you know what I'm saying? Injury free, all unanimous. Tell me what the process was like this time versus any other time.
You guys, me or him?
Both.
He could go first.
Yeah, man. The process is no joke, man. I mean, it's a lot of work. People see the glory, but not really the story. You know, man, we grind full time all the time. And the closer we get to tournament time, the more I push the gas, meaning pushing him. You feel me? Because he got a target on his back. So they keep coming. They just keep coming. They ain't gonna never stop coming as long as he lacing up them gloves. So, man, we just got to be ready for any and all styles.
The raw one. What's the process like for you?
The process is really just to stay mentally focused and stay focused at all times during training camp, so I can come out victorious in the fights.
So when you in there, how fast does it take you to break the fighter down to where you know, like, okay, this is what I could do to him. This is what you know what I'm saying? This is what I know I'm gonna be able to do with him.
Yeah. Probably like the first half of the first round, so I can figure him out for like the first minute or so.
You got to get on the camera, bro. Can't nobody see you.
It take like the first minute to figure the fighter out.
And so, what do you think is more important, throwing punches or just making a miss at this stage of the game, as far as like with the amateurs?
Throwing punches, because the amateurs, they like aggression. So making a miss, that's good at the same time, because that's less points being scored on you, but you got to be the aggressor.
Okay. Now, what would you say your style is like? What would you say? What would you say you pattern your style after?
I got more like a counter punch style. Like, I use a jab and set you up and counter punch you, but in the amateur, you gotta put your foot on the gas and press the action.
For sure. So, what was your toughest fight at the tournament?
The last fight on Saturday, the championships, because he had a typical a typical Mexican style. He kept coming. You know, he take a lot of headshots, but the body shots was wearing him down.
Okay. So the fight that I saw you in, right?
Yeah.
How much better was he? How much better was he than the guy you fought in
San Ramon?
Yeah, San Ramon.
Skill wise, he wasn't no better than him, but he was more aggressive than him.
Yeah. And so you won every round of every fight. He got a phone call.
Yeah.
So you won every round of every fight. What was it? Was this the easiest tournament so far?
So far it wasn't. I wouldn't say it's the easiest tournament because other tournaments I've done the same thing, unanimous in all the fights I've had in the tournament. So it's not really nothing new.
So when did you realize, like, okay, I'm that one? What was that fight?
After the second fight in this tournament, I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. This ain't nothing new to me.
So Pops, how long did it take you to know like that you got something special?
I mean, it was early on. You know, I used to see him doing stuff around the house, and I would have him throw punches. I remember one time it was Christmas. It was around Christmas, and so he had got a bunch of little toys and like Tonka trucks and all kind of stuff. But I had got him a heavy bag, a miniature heavy bag that you hang on the doorknob, and it had a bullseye on it. So every time he would punch it, it would light up, make a little kid's noise. You know, he didn't play with nothing else. Once he got a hold to that heavy bag, he man, we had to keep noise and keep him calm. It had to be batteries on hand 24/7 to punch that heavy bag. So for 16 years, pretty much, this is all he been doing. But it ain't easy. I mean, it may look easy, man, but this shit is a real job. Training, you know, dealing with a teenager, making sure he on point mentally, physically. It's work. It's work.
Now, how do you stay focused and making sure boxing is the number one thing? Because you're young and there's women, there's this, there's that. How do you stay focused? How do you stay grounded in the boxing game, in this thing?
To be honest, I really don't pay, like, I don't really like some people, they try extra hard just to stay focused, but for me it come natural to me, like, because I know I could do something. It's like it's light at the end of the tunnel, so I'm not really tripping off staying focused, because I know when it's time to train, and when it's time to put the other stuff aside, it's time to put the other stuff to the side.
And quit moving the camera. See, now I ain't coach, now I'm dad. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
You got to put the camera on your face and quit moving, man.
I'm trying to hold it.
Hey, so what's the hardest part? Being coach or being dad? What's the and finding that balance? What's the hardest
You
part?
know what? It's like it's a thin line. I know when to push him and to pull back. I know when to go off on him and when to give him praise. It came with, you know, doing this for so long, to where I can give him that dad look. We could be sparring or something. I can give him that dad look, like, come on, man, what is you doing? Or it could be like the coach conversation during sparring. So I know when to push and when to pull back.
For sure. What would you say your relationship is like, as far as him being your coach and being your pops?
It's pretty good. It's like when it's time to train, he got the coach hat on, and then when we not training, he got the dad hat on. So it's like it's 50-50. So it's pretty good.
What you like more, coach or dad?
The dad side.
Yeah. So what's it gonna be like having somebody else coach you when you go to the USA boxing?
It ain't gonna be that big of a deal because I'm coachable, so I'm able to listen to other people if I know that they giving good advice, so I'll be able to listen. It wouldn't be that much of a big deal.
Okay. So we going. You just won the Junior Olympics. What's the next tournament they got y'all going to?
Nationals in December in Lafayette, Louisiana, but it's really the Olympic trials for the elites. So, but it's nationals for me.
Okay. So, at what age do you get to do like the Olympic trials and things like that?
18.
Okay. So you got 2 more years in this on.
Yep.
And so, how tall are you right now?
Like 5'10" and a half, 5'11".
How tall do you think you're gonna end up being?
Probably 6'1", 6'2".
Say that one more time.
Probably like 6'1", 6'2".
6'1", 6'2". Now,
yeah.
Do you think like the heavyweight division is like that's where you're gonna be, like as far as like height and weight, or would you do like a 168 or like a 175?
I might. I've been thinking about it, but it's like just depending on how my body feel out. And then we'll see when time comes.
Cause Pops, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". Cause most heavyweights
they big nowadays, 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah. You know
But
that.
you got to remember, Evander Holyfield wasn't no big heavyweight. Mike Tyson wasn't no big heavyweight. Michael Moore wasn't no big heavyweight, and all of them had world titles. So it ain't the size of the dog; it's the fight in the dog.
Most definitely.
But yeah, when the time comes though, and it's time to turn pro, we'll figure that conversation. We'll have that conversation.
What weight do you feel most comfortable at?
As a pro or right now?
It's like right now.
Right now, I'm feeling cool at the heavyweights, but by the time going pro, because that's a different element. No headgear, smaller gloves, and it's grown man strength, so it's a different element at the pros.
For sure. Who have you fought? That's in the Olympic trials now. That's focusing on the Olympic trials now. Who have you fought?
I haven't fought nobody that's registered to be in the Olympic trials. Nobody they never made the team to be on the Olympic trials. So I ain't fought nobody that's registered to be for the Olympic trials.
Okay. Now being number one, what keeps you motivated to stay number one and not get comfortable?
Because I don't like the feeling of losing. So that's the thing right there. If you don't like losing, you ain't gonna want to lose. So you're gonna do everything you gotta do for you not to lose.
And so far, what would you say has been your hardest fight?
My hardest fight up to date, probably, even though I won unanimous on Saturday, he was the person who brought it the most.
So how was he a heavy hitter, or was he just coming forward like just nonstop coming forward?
It wasn't so much of a heavy hitter. He was just aggressive, nonstop aggression.
Okay. Yeah, because I told your pops, he was like, yeah, he fighting this Mexican dude. I said, oh shit, we good. Yeah. I said, oh shit, we good. I done seen this movie before. I said, we good. He was like, nah, the dude just keep coming. I'm like, I had y'all on after y'all win the tournament. You know what I'm saying? I had y'all on.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, most definitely. So you young. How now? Females can deter you now.
Yeah.
Listen. Young.
Yeah.
Be careful. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
Yep.
Yeah, be very, very careful.
You know, we had that conversation all the time that not only do he have a bullseye on his back with boxing, he has a bullseye on his back with them little females. Because they could be smelling a payday at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? So I tell him all the time, be young, but be smart. Life is about choices. That's what E40 said, right? Everybody got choices. So be young, enjoy yourself, but be smart at the same time.
That can fuck up everything, man. I done seen
Everything.
a lot of guys that could have been in the NBA. They fucked it up by having a baby early. You know what I'm saying?
Or they forced to do some shit that they ain't ready for yet because they got a baby. So like with him, that means you got to turn pro earlier than expected now because you got a mouth to feed. So if you don't want to be put in that position, just protect yourself. I don't care what none of them say. I take this, I got this ain't gonna happen. Man, they sell rebels all day long everywhere.
Man, most definitely. At what age do you think you want him to go pro?
Well, I mean, that's gonna be kind of his decision, but I told him he got to finish school first. He got to get that high school diploma first because boxing ain't going nowhere. And then number two, we got to see how mentally he's developed and physically, because he just said dealing with them grown men with smaller gloves, no headgear, it's a different beast. So by the time he's 18, he will already have had 10 years in the amateurs, right? So that means he's seen just about every style, every height, every strength, just about. So at that point, we're gonna see. But we not hanging around no amateurs trying to get no 200-300 fights. We not trying to stay till we 22, 23, somewhere 18, 19. It's trying to go. Move on.
So there's no, I think it's like no more Olympics, right? So is it just like the World Championships these days?
They got the World Championships. They got the Pan Am Games. You know, they got stuff similar to the Olympics. So by the time he's finished his run in the amateurs, you know, hopefully he'll go overseas and fight in the World Games, the Pan Am Games, you know, shit like that. So that'll just give him a whole nother level of experience. That European style, that Cuban style, you know, seeing them overseas fighters.
So what at this point of the game right now, what's the main focus?
Is that for him or me?
Both.
The main focus right now is just to stay winning and stay focused.
Basically, keep building his resume. Even though the amateurs, once you turn pro, don't count for anything because that's behind you, but you keep winning and you keep building national titles, that gives you a more of an opportunity to get seen by promoters. You ain't got to go in the back door fighting. What I mean by that is, you know, we can get signed to a management promotional company to where we ain't got to go fighting in Baja, California over some bar or in a barn somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We could come through the front door as opposed to the side door.
Well, most definitely. What's the most important, when you get to that point, what's the most important things for you guys as far as signing with a promoter?
The more national titles you got under your belt, the better off you are. The more Team USA experience you got under your belt, the better off you are. So it's like a combination of things. Got to stay humble, number one. Got to keep God first, um, and just keep grinding because it's not gonna end. The deeper, the deeper we get in the pool, man, the more the sharks and the piranhas is coming.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Um, do you think there do you think there is anybody coming up right now that is a tough out for you, or like is it just because you make it look so easy? Is there somebody like that you're looking at like that could be a rival?
Right now, nah, I don't see nobody with the skill level or anything that's giving me any type of problems for real, for real.
They 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 might not have the skill level, but some of these dudes, man, they've been trained from an early age to just keep going forward or punches. Um,
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nah, I can't hear you.
you hear me?
Y'all can hear you now. Go ahead. Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay. So one of them, I think it was in the finals, and they had a heated exchange, right? They was like really getting down to it. And the coach yelled out, like, go get him, he's tired. But what y'all fail to realize is we're not tired. You're not gonna run out of gas. He running on high octane. So if you thinking he's tired and he's winded, okay, come on, get some more. And it showed he wasn't tired because out of 3 fights, he got 14 out of 15 points. I mean, you can't get no better than that.
So what's your record in the amateurs?
To be honest, I don't even know my record, but I know I got last week made 45 fights. So I got 45 fights, but I don't know the record though.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he got like 3 losses early on when he was, younger.
Yeah.
So it might be like 4 losses somewhere in that, but they ain't really losses. They learning situations. So um, you look at what you didn't do or what you could have did better, and you go back to the drawing board and work on that.
So around this age, when do they start counting it? Where it's like the wins and the losses.
They don't really
Shit,
count the wins and the losses in the amateurs, really.
they count them to a degree because that's how you get on Team USA. That's how you get on the selection team, the traveling team. And plus, it's based on the point system, too. So you could have so many points and be the number one dude, but you might not be coachable. So what they'll do is go down the list. Okay, let's check out the number two dude in the nation or the number 3, because you got to be coachable. You got to be able to respond to what they asking you to do. I mean, it all boils down on to each individual. So they don't really count the losses and the wins, but it does play a factor at some point because basically Team USA is about winning, right? They want gold, they want silver, or they want bronze. It's all about winning. If you're not meddling for Team USA, what they want you for?
We can't hear you.
So you could be the number 2 guy, not as talented as the number 1 guy, but they can choose the number 2 guy or the number 1 guy off the little like certain things?
Yes, sir. If the number 1 dude got a big head and he an asshole, they ain't got to deal with him just because he's number 1. They can bring in the number 2 dude who might not be as skilled, who might not be as talented, but he gonna show up to team training when he's supposed to on time. He not gonna get a coach's no problem. He gonna be coachable and he gonna bust his ass. So they'd rather go overseas with somebody like that than the dude that then won 50 tournaments, ranked number 1, all the stuff. But this dude big headed, you know what I'm saying? He think his shit don't stink. So it's all about the individual.
For sure. Man, I gotta get to these kids, man.
Yes, sir.
I had to get y'all. Chill out. But I had to get y'all on to chop it up. We gotta do this again, though. We gotta do this again. Let me know when your next tournament is out here.
Okay.
She want me to blow up balloons and shit. Say hi. 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 Say hi.
Hey.
Say hi.
All right, man. Go ahead and handle your daddy affairs. I know how it is.
Most definitely. I'm gonna get with y'all.
All right.
I'll call you.
For sure.
All right.